Hello people of the internet, this is Shaky Jake, and I really need a catchphrase. You are watching Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on impossible difficulty, where previously on KotOR we explored the Valley of the Dark Lords, explored 3 of the 4 tombs available in the Valley of the Dark Lords, and we've also explored the Chirac Caves. And between those locations we were able to gather all of the necessary prestige that we need in order to impress this lazy git down here. And even if you do every single task on Korriban, you don't actually need to tell Uthar Wynn about every single one, because he eventually gets impressed after 2 to 3 tasks, depending on how you tell him about them. Simply because if you tell him, for example, that you killed certain members of the Academy, he's actually impressed when you do that, and he'll give you more prestige just for killing them. So you can actually do maybe 2 tasks, and if you've killed a Sith on one of them, he'll just be automatically impressed. So if you don't want to bother doing loads of tasks for him, that's the quickest way to do it. However, because I'm very OCD and like to show off as much as I can, I did everything just for the hell of it. And it's a bit of a shame that Shardan's body's disappeared on the reload, because I would have liked to have had this conversation with Uthar with his body still there, particularly if I was given the sword of Ajunta Paul away, because that would have just been hilarious. But let's talk to Uthar.
Do not forget our agreement regarding Uthara's treachery. We shall put her in her place, should you reach the final test, that is.
Oh, I will, because most of the Sith are dead, the ones who are named, or they just abandoned you completely because they realised the dark side wasn't for them, and the others are just nameless NPCs who don't try. So, in character, I always find it makes sense to tell Uthar about his master, and in theory the Sword of Ajunta Paul and the Holocron, and also the Renegade Students. Everything else you can kind of just pass up on, I find. Although I pretty much said most of that, so maybe I basically just said, yeah, everything that you do for Uthar Wynn makes complete sense to tell him about. So I think first of all I'm going to start with the Jedi Holocron.
I had heard that such an artifact existed. Tell me, young one, did you acquire the device by yourself?
No.
So I see. And Lasho, does she yet live?
No, I killed her.
Well done. You gained an artifact through trickery and eliminated an opponent at the same time. That is deserving of great prestige. Go now. You have done well, but you have not impressed me enough to declare you the victor. I have matters to attend to.
Of which those matters are nothing, because all you do is sit here and meditate. And I found your former master.
Ah. My old master. Still, unless you bring back something of his, some writings or similar, I am unimpressed. Jorac's fate means nothing to me.
Why, did you want it signed so you could sell it on Star Wars eBay? Well, seeing as you asked, I have a tablet written by Jorac.
Oh? Let me see. It appears my old master was busy studying the writings in one of the tombs. How interesting. I do hope you had to pry this from his dead fingers. Regardless, you have impressed me with your worthy act. You have impressed me enough, by my estimation, to become a Sith in full. Congratulations, young one. You have bested the others quite completely. You have but one final test which you must take, and this requires us to travel to the tomb of Naga Sadow in the Valley of the Dark Lords. I would advise you to be rested and equipped before we leave. Return to your quarters now and seek me out in the morning. When you return, make sure that you have all you will need, for you will face your test alone. Go, and may the Force serve you well.
And there we go, we've impressed Uthar enough, and presumably we're all fully rested for the trial ahead, so let's move on. See if Uthar has anything interesting to say.
What are you doing here? Go back to Uthar and tell him you are ready to take your final test. Our moment is at hand. Go.
Oh, don't worry, I'm already fully committed to this idea of poisoning Uthar and helping you succeed with the Academy. That's absolutely fine with me. And this is one of my favourite parts of the game, incidentally. I love doing this trial simply because there's a lot of atmosphere behind it, and it's really fascinating in how many different ways you can approach this particular quest. So, Uthar.
So then, I take it you are ready to travel to the tomb of Naga Sadow. Your final test should not be delayed.
Well, there's nothing stopping me, in theory, from just going on the Ebon Hawk right now, travelling to another planet, doing some quests, and then coming back. You'll still be here waiting for me, because you run by my rules, not the other way round. So, tell me, what is this tomb of Naga Sadow all about, then?
It is a tomb that belonged to an ancient Sith Lord. The greatest of Korriban's Sith Lords, in fact. It is there that your test is performed.
Why, have I got to do an afternoon matinee performance, then? Why are you saying performance? What is this final test?
I will tell you the details when we are there, young one. You will, however, fight for your life. That is why I suggest you be in sufficient health.
Well, you never told me to go to a doctor or anything. You never prescribed me anything, so you're just expecting me to be completely healthy for this? Man, I want to see your human resources department. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm ready to go.
Then we go now.
Bye, Jahani. Bye, Jolie. See you later. A day passes in preparation. A day? It's like a 5-minute walk from the academy to this tomb. Why does it take a day? Whatever.
Very well. We are now ready for your final test, young Sith. You have earned the right to see if you shall become one of us.
Indeed you have.
Is that a tone of mischief in your voice, dear Uthar? You should know by now that no scheme is certain.
As should you, my master. But I was only agreeing with you. Should we not get on with the test?
Yes. Yes, of course. We are in the sacred tomb of Naga Sadow, young one. The one discovered by Darth Malak and Darth Revan years ago. You are to follow in their footsteps and reach the ancient star map that lies deep within. There you will find a lightsaber, amongst other things. The lightsaber is for you, your initiation present. Return to us once you have it. For you, the test does not end there.
Be very cautious here. This tomb is like the others in this valley, and many of its old defenses remain active.
Do you understand what I have told you? Are you ready to begin?
I don't understand. Why not just give me the saber?
If you do not strive to achieve something, then it will be meaningless to you, wouldn't you say?
Can you tell me anything about what I will face?
No, that is part of the test. Overcome the obstacles that lie ahead on your own.
Can I leave the tomb?
You cannot. No one enters and no one leaves until your test is complete.
That seems reasonable. Am I under time conditions? Is this exam an hour long? Do I get extra time? You haven't really told me much about this exam. Right. Find the star map, return with the lightsaber. I understand.
Good. Uthar and I will await your return.
And there we go. So Uthar and Euphora are going to leave us alone now. If we try and leave, we cannot because the door is locked. So let's go. And this is one of my favourite areas in the game, as I've already said, simply because it's completely atmospheric and it's actually quite creepy in a way that the other tombs are. And we're going to let these guys come to us. So this is actually one of the first times in the game where I've actually been on my own. So I believe this is actually the first time I've actually been without party members. So we're going to take these guys out, who are relatively easy at this stage of the game. Although this one's tanking the hits quite nicely. I will say I definitely prefer the altered combat music for this part of the game now, simply because the normal theme that plays is a theme that's very overplayed. So if you go to the left down this way, this is actually an optional area that you don't have to do, but if you do it you get some extra loot. So if we go in here, we have a puzzle to do, and it's a relatively simple puzzle, but one I didn't quite get when I first played the game, and it's actually quite creepy. The issue with having a modern PC setup is this part of the game loses a lot of atmosphere simply because it looks a lot brighter than it did when I first played the game on a CRT monitor, and it's a shame in a way because this area looks so much scarier when I was a kid. So we can't go through this door because we need to solve this puzzle, and we also can't go back out until we solve this puzzle. If you get this puzzle wrong twice in a row, then the ceiling caves in and you get crushed. So the idea is you have these 4 coloured rings here, and you have to get them all across to this right pillar. However, you can't have, for example, you can't move the red one here and then move the green one here, because otherwise it causes the machine to falter. So I believe this terminal explains that. So there are 3 pillars that have electronic readouts showing the energy levels of 4 systems. The controls show that these systems can be transferred to other pillars. Caution: some of the systems are very delicate, and improper transfer of power can cause an electrical overload. In order to unseal the chamber, all of the following 4 systems must be transferred to the right pillar. And then you have to do it as, you have to move the top system, mid-upper system, mid-lower system, and as you can see, it tells you what causes overloading if you don't do it properly. So, we've got to do this in a very specific way, and I can't actually remember the specific way, but I'm going to do my best anyway to try and best utilise it. So, what we do is we move a system from the left pillar and then remove it over here, for example. And then we do exactly the same thing again. Now, if I put this green one to the middle pillar, it's going to cause a bit of a problem. So we're not going to do that. We're going to move it to the right pillar. And then what we do is we move the red one from the middle pillar to the right pillar. And as you can see, it always prioritises whatever's on the top. You can't move the blue one over the yellow one, for example. So it always moves the yellow one because that's now the highest priority. So if we move that to the middle, and then this is where it gets a little bit complex. So if we try moving the red one to the middle pillar, now at the moment this is going to be a little bit irritating. So let's try moving the green one back, and then moving the red one back over, and then try this. I have to admit, I am a little bit fuzzy when it comes to this puzzle, so I am a little bit out of practice. But hopefully we've solved it to an extent. So middle pillar, yeah, you can definitely tell I'm out of practice with this puzzle. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? No, cancel that. Oh, if I move the yellow one, it's going to cause a little bit of a problem. Okay, middle, left. I know there's definitely an optimal way to do this, but I've honestly forgotten how to do it. I do know what to do, but it's been so long since I actually played this puzzle that I've actually forgotten. At the moment, I'm just randomly clicking stuff and hoping for the best. So, move that. Okay, I think I've got it. So, the right pillar, if I move that to the middle... No, that's not what I wanted to do. Go back. Move the red one to the left. And then move the green one from the right to the middle, and then move that to the right. Right, here we go, I've got it. Move the middle to the left, move the right to the left, and now we can get the blue one across from the middle to the right. So there we go, we've got less to worry about now. That one's absolutely fine. So now we have to do this in a very specific order. So middle, right, middle, right, left, middle. And again, if you get this wrong at any point, it resets the entire puzzle, so be very careful of that. Right, middle, left, middle. I'm glad this doesn't limit how many times you can move stuff, otherwise I'd be in a bit of trouble right now. and middle, left, and then right, left. Got it, here we go. We're almost done. So middle, right, then left, middle, and then left, right, and then middle, right. And there we go. Power's been successfully transferred. That took way longer than it should have done, but we're done. So now we can go through this door. The loot better be worth it. And these guys have somehow been in here without starving to death, which is actually quite amazing. Again, I will say this area is optional. You do not have to do this. When I was a kid, I was convinced. Don't disable the mine, silly person. Oh my god, no. We're not having that. Quick, kill. Kill. Oh wow, that's actually quite dangerous. Whew. I was actually close to death. Dying on your own is not a pretty sight, so let's heal that. So this area, I can't remember what loot's actually in here, but I remember there was at least some items that were worth getting. But when I was a kid, I thought this was a major part of the tomb that you had to do. I didn't realise it was optional until a couple of playthroughs later. So we got strength amplifier, that's good. We got a couple of guns. Oh, that's a point. I actually need to change my gear slightly because I put the wrong belt on last time, didn't I? I want the strength enhancer because that was the belt I had before. And then in here, the monument has a poison blade, which might be useful for Canderous. So now that we've done that optional area, what we're going to do is speed along to the opposite side, and we're going to go towards this area, which you do have to go to. 450 credits is not a bad reward, incidentally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a shield on, because that was the mistake I made last time. And then here we get shut in again, because there's these dudes, the powerful dudes. So let's kill them as quickly as we can. Oh well, no, quick, okay, stun them. Stasis field is my friend at this stage of the game. And then if we stasis field again, hopefully they're permanently stunned now. Because one more hit could easily kill me. Right, definitely win a ray. Oh, I love abusing this power. It makes the game slightly cheap, but it's such a useful power. Oh, that was actually quite close. Okay, we're done. Got a nice lightsaber crystal there. And if we activate this lever over here, that should open the door. Or the doors, rather. So in here you've got two pillars. You've got the pillar of fire and the pillar of ice. We are going to pick from both of them because I do want to show you what happens with one of the items, simply because it's actually quite funny. The pillar of fire, you get a special fire grenade, and then the pillar of ice, predictably, has a special cold grenade. Now, you can't use these grenades in any combat situation whatsoever. You can only use them for one segment of the entire game, and that's in this tomb. So what we're going to do is we're going to head towards the centre of the map. As you can see on here, we have to go down this area. So if we open this door back up, and if we go through here, what you do is once you've been down that area, you come down here, open the door, and you'll see a nice acid pool, which you don't want to swim in, naturally. Now, I'm going to make a save here, because I'm going to show you what not to do. Right, so the acid pool. When you approach it, you get told that it's flooded the room. Well, sort of flooded the room. It hasn't really flooded everywhere, but anyway. So you have a choice. Once you get the two grenades, because you can, in theory, just come down to this area first, but then you get told you can't do anything with it. What you can do is you can choose which grenade to throw it at. Now, if you're good at science, you know which grenade not to throw at acid. But I was never very good at science, and I remember one of the first instincts I had as a kid when I first played this game was, oh, fire must be good, so we're going to use fire. So I'm going to do that. And as you can see, much like last time in the Tomb of Chulak Ord, we have noxious fumes rise from the from the acid, and then we die. And I love how too late you realise the fumes are poisonous. So I died, and then I immediately got back up again. I've never seen this before. That's actually quite amusing. Game, I don't think you fully animated that death animation well enough. Meanwhile, in the actual universe, where we weren't a complete idiot, what you actually meant to do is launch the special cold grenade at it. And predictably, that freezes the acid over, and we can now walk over it. And this is a really nasty looking icy bit of acid. So this tomb is actually relatively short once you know what you're doing, and thank you for that. I'm not quite sure who set a mine there, but anyway. So once we open this tomb door, we can see the star map, and we can also see a Sith statue. Now, let's go in here, and we've activated the last star map that we need for the Starforged crest. And there we go, we have a complete star map. So we don't have to do anything with this now, we have what we came for. So now, what I actually find interesting about Caravan is Uthar is actually aware that the star map exists. So what was to stop him from coming in this tomb because he had access to it? What was to stop him from accessing this tomb, finding this star map, and then going around the galaxy to look for the other star maps? I never understood why he was able to resist such a temptation. If we go to the Sith statue, we get Kylo Ren's lightsaber. What is this, I hear you ask? This doesn't happen normally in the game. No, this is part of a mod I downloaded which gives the player crossguard lightsabers. So Kylo Ren's lightsaber is a unique item that replaces the normal Sith lightsaber that is here. And in the vanilla game, the Sith lightsaber is just a generic red lightsaber which you can't upgrade and you can't do anything with. It's not special in any way whatsoever. It doesn't have any unique qualities. However, Kylo Ren's lightsaber is a slightly more special take on, you know, what you get. So it doesn't make any sense from a historical standpoint because Kylo Ren doesn't exist at this time in the Star Wars universe. But if we get it out and if we look at its stats, you'll notice that it's got 1+10 additional dark side. It's also got 1-6 fire damage. It's also got attack modifier +2, defense bonus 2, blaster bolt deflection +3, dexterity -2, which makes sense because it's quite a heavy lightsaber, I'd imagine. So constructed utilizing an ancient design, Kylo Ren's unique lightsaber features a crossguard to aid in blocking attacks. A cracked kyber crystal contributes to its fiery glow and unstable appearance. Though not as streamlined as modern lightsabers, this lightsaber is still very powerful in the hands of a skilled warrior. You can see that it's crossguarded. The crossguard lightsaber is very much as you'd expect. It acts as a regular lightsaber as in the normal Knights of the Old Republic lightsabers, with the only addition being that it does look like Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't have the sound effects that you would expect from Kylo Ren's lightsaber, but it's a little bit more special than just a generic Sith lightsaber that you normally find in the vanilla game, and that's the reason why I downloaded it, and we're going to use it for the next part of the game. Not for the whole game, but we're just going to use it for a little while, which is probably going to be a mistake. So as you can see, Uthar and Uthor are back here, and they're already waiting for us, so this is quite worrying. I'm actually going to put my shield on because I'm not looking forward to this, incidentally.
So, you return to us with the lightsaber in hand, as I knew you would.
The Force has served you well.
You took a great risk in acquiring the artifact. You used your mind and your power. No peaceful meditation, no pacifism. Sometimes you must fight in order to achieve. This gives you your passion. This makes you stronger. This is what makes you superior. That is the lesson we teach with that part of the final test. Do you understand?
Oh please, Uthar, feed me more compliments. They sound really nice. The Sith are not the only ones who fight and take risks.
True, but most would say they fight only when they must, or not at all. We are the ones who know that struggle is what makes us superior.
Are you saying a Jedi couldn't have gotten the lightsaber?
When a Jedi acts...
Stop mind
it is with
tricking
skill,
me.
True, but the Jedi teach you that your passions are counterproductive. that strength is only found in peace. Did you not feel a moment of excitement in the tomb? Did your passions not flow and make you feel stronger and more alive? What purpose would be served by restricting yourself from such? I would say only the purpose of the Jedi. Through this, they would control you and restrict your potential.
I wouldn't say I exerted myself getting this.
Perhaps not to someone of your natural strength. The point is in the recognition of the nature of the act, rather than its sheer difficulty.
I don't believe you. I don't feel superior to anyone.
If you came to the Academy,
stop mind tricking
you must
me.
have felt the stirrings within you that cry out for the freedom of the dark side, that cry out for release. I can only show you the path that will lead to power and superiority. You have followed it this far. You must decide if you are capable of continuing.
And if I'm not?
This is where your path ends, young one. There is no turning back once you have embarked on it.
Okay, I think I understand.
Good. The last part of your test will now commence. Here, you will learn the lesson of competition. All life must compete in order to flourish. Such is the natural way of the universe. To stand still is to know death. One must always be moving forward. So it is the same amongst the Sith. Compete or die. Mercy is irrelevant. So it behooves you in this final test to strike down one you are familiar with, for no other reason than to prove you are superior and without mercy. Normally, this would be against another student. You, however, get a special treat. You will fight Uthar here, my own apprentice.
You talk too much, old fool.
So, you know, do you? Well, it makes no difference. You have become too ambitious, Uthar. It is time for you to die.
No, it is time for you to die, Master. My pupil stands with me.
Sadly, Uthar, it is you who are mistaken. Your pupil is more ambitious than you realize. Isn't that so, young one?
Can I just say, you guys act like a real old married couple right now. I mean, you've both got names that are kind of similar. Uthar and Euphora. I mean, there's a lot of similar letters in there. You're arguing all the time. There's a lot of love between you two. So we've got a choice. We can actually side with Uthar, which seems a bit pointless at this stage, considering I've poisoned him. We can side with Euphora, or we can essentially say, I hate both of you and I'd rather just side with me. Now, for many years, I used to just kill both of them and get that over with. But that was before I realised the amount of depth that Euphora actually had. And I realised keeping her alive made more sense. So, we're going to go with... Sorry, Uthar, I'm with Euphora on this one.
Do you hear that, my master? That is the sound of a new leader rising to replace you.
So the time has come, has it? I will... no. My strength leaves me.
You are weak, Uthar. And the Force has abandoned you. We have made sure of it.
Now, I'm pretty sure we just poisoned him. We didn't actually force him to... we didn't force the Force to just be like, nah, sorry, you're on your own here. So I'm going to put a shield on, definitely. Because, oh my god, he's already draining the Force. And he's already forced whirlwinded me. Thank you for that. That was not the way I intended this to go. Oh my god, we're actually losing health quite badly. Oh my god, I died. Oh, that did not go well at all. Let's try that again, shall we? We're back at the stage where the battle's about to begin. Now, I did a couple of tests with this off screen, and this fight is especially difficult on impossible difficulty. I have died multiple times thanks to impossible difficulty. So, Uthar likes to do a lot of drain life or death field, you know, the more advanced version. So what I would recommend is actually getting Force immunity just for this battle alone. I probably should have got it way beforehand, but I was an idiot and didn't get that. So we're going to have to play it by ear and hope for the best. So yeah, he really likes spamming death field, which is really annoying. Oh, Euphora, you're letting me down here. What are you doing? Oh, he's done Force Whirlwind again. Please don't kill me. Oh, he's going to kill me, isn't he? Oh no, good. Good. No. Okay. when in doubt, I'm going to set loads of mines simply to do this next part, just in case I need them. So we're actually going to set a few plasma mines.
Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shot. Whoever steps on this will get a nasty shot.
And then we're going to just set loads of frag mines and hope for the best. Okay, let's let him spam Death Field a couple of times, and then let's just keep healing until he runs out. Okay, good. Well done.
Uthar is finished, and a new order is brought to the Academy. Excellent. While I do like you, truly, I'm afraid I'm not the type to share power with anyone, even you.
Typical. I knew this was coming.
I did tell you there was no such thing as friends among the Sith, didn't I? Let's get this over with. Come back soon, my friend.
Oh, Uthar called us her friend.
Greetings, my friend. I do rather enjoy saying that.
You said to me I was your friend earlier. You're going back on your word here. That's not very nice. This is equally as difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a save just in case. Okay, so let's hope for the best here. Oh yeah, don't try and stun me. Or, you know, choke me rather. Oh, she likes choking me a lot. Jesus. Okay, so Uthar is equally difficult, but she's a little bit easier than Uthar. So if you can get a lucky stun in, she's actually really simple to beat.
Oh, stop. I yield. You are too strong for me. I was a fool to think otherwise. I have actual mercy.
You ask for mercy. You, a Sith.
I suppose I am. Something tells me that you are not like the other students. I don't know why that is. I was right the first time back at the cantina, wasn't I? There is something different about you. More so than I even suspected.
Indeed. I am Darth Revan.
I see. I should have known. Right from the beginning. But you are no longer the Dark Lord you once were, are you? You are Revan. And yet you are not. What I sense of your destiny is still unclear. So what happens now? Will you show me mercy? Will you just let me leave?
You could come with me.
That's tempting, but I don't think I could. Your path. It goes somewhere I can't follow.
Maybe you need to think about your own path.
I suppose you could be right. All the things I wanted to do, all the wrongs I wanted to right, I haven't done any of it. They just get farther and farther from my mind. All I've cared about is power and myself. This isn't the person I was.
There's still time to change that.
You're right. Maybe what I needed most was peace after all. The Jedi tried to show me that. I don't know if I can ever go back to them, but my place isn't here. Thank you. Thank you for showing me that. You have a destiny, my friend, and I wish you well on your way to it. May the Force be with you.
And we get light side points for that. And wow, Uthar is pretty much dead. I'm surprised she's even still alive, to be honest. So she's going to limp away forever and we'll never see her again. But she's a fascinating character either way. Ooh, Uthar has 3,000 credits. Yes, we'll definitely take that. So we're going to recover all of these mines that I didn't actually need. So what we're going to do once we've got all these is we're going to leave the tomb and we're going to head back to the Ebon Hawk because we've got everything we need from Caravan. So I shall see you when I get back to the Sith Academy. And we're back at the Sith Academy and it seems there are 3 Sith apprentices standing outside. This may or may not go down well, but if we act natural and if we pretend that nothing's happened, I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine. Hello guys.
You there! How is it that you're leaving Naga Sadow's tomb by yourself? You went in for your final test, didn't you? Where is Master Uthar?
Master Uthar? I don't know what you're talking about.
You lie.
Look, I don't need any trouble here, alright?
Well, you found it. If you've done anything to Master Uthar, you're going to pay for it.
But what if Master Uthar is really dead? How can we hope to stand up against someone who could kill him?
Don't be a sniveling coward. I will prove this one a spy. And if Uthar is dead, I shall become the new master.
Yeah, see, it's a bit of a shame in a way that I've downloaded mods to actually make this seem somewhat realistic. In the vanilla game, this dialogue plays out a lot more ridiculously, in the sense that when that line gets said, normally these characters are wearing generic Sith officer uniform and they all look more like generic NPCs, so it makes it even funnier. The idea of this generic Sith NPC character becoming the leader of the Sith Academy was always something I found absolutely hilarious. Seriously, just watch any of the footage from the vanilla game where these characters say that and try to watch it with a straight face. Seriously, it's one of the funniest things ever. So we're going to make an example of these guys and we're going to let them all come to me and then I'm going to stun them. Okay, most of them got stunned apart from the one who wants to take over the Sith Academy, so you know, maybe you have a shot. Maybe you can actually rule the Sith Academy assuming you survive. Okay, so they're all dead, which is nice. And do they have any remains? No, they don't. Before we go in the Sith Academy, though, we're actually going to go back to the Valley of the Dark Lords, because I never realised this for years, but you can actually go back to the Valley of the Dark Lords and kill the Sith that you didn't actually, you know, murder on your way back, which makes complete sense to me. So we're going to just cleanse the valley completely. We might as well, seeing as we're committed now. Hello, guys. Okay, those voice actors do not really match up with the characters, but that's absolutely fine. Where are the rest of you? I know there's more of you around. Or at least there should be more of you around. If there's just 3 or 4 of you, that's really disappointing. So we might as well just kill you. Wow, there really is only 3 of you. That's actually quite embarrassing. But annoyingly, the people that were guarding the tombs all abandoned them, so as far as I'm concerned, they're alive for the rest of time now. So I think that's pretty much everyone. We came back just to kill 3 people. What a waste of time that was. And we're back at the Sith Academy. So once we go back in, we're going to have a massive fight with every single person in the Academy. And this can be quite difficult because the way the game sets it up is it splits you and your party members up for some reason, or at least splits you up from one of your party members, so be very careful of that if you decide to do it this way, because you can go back to the Sith Academy and have them not turn on you, providing you keep either keep Uthar or Uthar alive. So let's go in. And we're immediately greeted by a fight. Let's sort this out. And we haven't used Force Wave yet, but, you know, Juhani's done that for us. Jolie's suffering a tad, so let's just spam loads of Force Waves at them. And Jolie's died, which is great, but that's because he was separated from us for so long. And looks like Juhani's going to die if we're not careful. Oh, looks like we're going to die too. Oh, damn it. And let's try this again. So this time we're going to get Jolie to reunite with us all the way down there. So let's do this. Oh, don't force push me. Oh no, come on. There we go. Right, let's get down there as quick as we can. Put some force powers on. We've saved Juhani from dying then, which is good.
That's what a Jedi can do.
This fight can actually be tedious if you're not fully prepared for it, so just take it slow and you'll be fine. This is like a reverse Order 66. Juhani, how did you die then? Seriously? Nobody actually hit you? Right, let's just heal everybody up anyway. Pick up the remains of anyone before we make any more progress. And again, I think we're getting way too many overpowered items because of the one mod I downloaded. I should have downloaded the secondary mod to actually turn that off, but that's fine. Okay, there's nothing in there. So yeah, we're getting loads of crystals that we shouldn't be getting, but that's not a huge issue. I'm just going to sell them probably. So yeah, see, these crystals aren't too bad because they're just colour crystals. And ooh, loads of Jedi Master Robes. We can actually give those away to you know, Jolie and Juhani at some point. And I realised as well, after I recorded the last episode, Jolee can't actually wear the one set of robes, these robes, because they're only restricted to light side, and because Jolee's neutral, he can't actually wear any alignment-based robes, and move on to the remaining members of the Academy so he can cleanse it forever. Because, you know, all you need to do with this place is just give it a good spring clean, put some windows in, and it will look a lot nicer. It just needs to be redecorated and given the love and care it deserves. This black theme is a little bit grim after a while. It just needs to lighten up. Jolee's already running off to do more combat, so we're going to follow him in a moment. Once I've looted everybody, which I have. Jolee, come back, because you're getting all the fun stuff without me. We can't actually free the Republic prisoners. As far as I'm aware, you can't actually free them full stop unless if you get Uthar to run the Sith Academy. Now, one thing you need to be aware of if you do decide to kill everybody in the Sith Academy, because there's two ways you can have that happen. You either kill both Uthar and Uthar, or you get Uthar to go back to the light side, one of the two. And if you decide to go that route, make sure that you've redeemed Dustil or solved his quest, because otherwise Karth will be broken for the rest of the game. And when I say broken, he's not broken in the sense that he's unusable, but every time you try and talk to me, he'll always ask about Dustil, and you don't want that. I basically broke a whole save the once simply because I actually forgot to sort out the whole Karth Dustil thing. So let me just double check to see if there's anybody left. I don't think there is, apart from maybe one or two people. But yeah, just give this place a good spring clean, put some windows in, and it will look a lot nicer. Right, I believe that is everybody dead here now. There's just one more person to kill, and then we never have to come back here ever again. Well, we do at some point, but we don't actually have to come back to the Sith Academy at any point. The Sith Academy is mine. From now on, I am going to sit and meditate here all day and do absolutely nothing apart from tell people what to do, and the only thing I want people to do here from now on is to give this place a good spring clean. I want them to tidy this place up, put some windows in, lighten the area, and just give it a good neutral paint colour scheme, because at the moment this is a very oppressive place. If you take my advice, this place will sell very well in the future, and its value will go up quite considerably. That's us done with the Sith Academy. We're never going to come back here ever again, so let's leave and then get immediately greeted by this Sith Academy guard who was rude to us at the very beginning. So let's give him a good taste of what it's like to be rejected.
Neither a Sith nor do you bear the medallion of a student of this facility. Please leave at once.
Look, I'm more of a Sith than most of your students. I'm Darth Revan. I was Lord of the Sith. Let me in.
I see. And who might your friends be?
Look, it's obvious you don't believe me, but I really am Darth Revan.
On your way, citizen.
Might as well embarrass him. Yeah, that's what you get for not believing we were Darth Revan and that we didn't have any friends, you fool. And there you have it, that's us done with the Sith Academy. If you try to go back in, you can't, because the Academy has somehow been sealed from within, despite the fact there's nobody actually in there. So we can't go back there full stop. But we've done everything we need to on Korriban. We may have to come back here later at some point because of the Brotherhood of Shadow mod I downloaded, because I think part of that is related to Korriban. But otherwise, we're done here, so let's head off. And unfortunately, Dak Vesser is not in the cantina anymore. I think he's been patched out in the restoration mod, simply because there was an exploit involved with his character where you could kill him repeatedly non-stop for infinite dark side points and credits. So I think the restoration mod has completely removed him after the Valley of the Dark Lords. But that's fine, because we still have a little bit more to do with Juhani, and we're going to trigger that before the end of this episode. So let's just go back to the Ebon Hawk and see if it actually triggers.
What the hell is your kind doing here? Bad enough I have to deal with all these other idiots, but now there's a stinking KotOR on this world too?
I have as much right to be here as you do, sir.
A big mouth like that can get you killed.
Ooh, big man. The Jedi shooting his mouth off from behind a lightsaber, or whatever you're carrying, hiding behind your pet cat there, and a woman at that. We should have exterminated all you KotOR when we had the chance.
What? What do you know about my world?
I know enough that... Hey, wait a minute. You look familiar somehow.
What? You?
We should just leave, Juhani.
This doesn't concern you, Jedi trash. Now where could I have... No, he's dead, and she likely is too.
What are you talking about?
Maybe I was wrong. Still, I think a specimen like you would be a nice addition to my collection. So, what would it take, Jedi, for you to sell your pet here to me?
She is not for sale.
Now don't be so selfish. We both know KotOR aren't real people anyway. The females make amusing pets, but the males should be put down like the animals they are. I remember one time on Taris.
What? What did you say?
Calm down, Juhani.
What did you do on Taris, you scum?
Put one of you down like the animals you are. So easy. Then I saw one of the females on the auction block. But those darn Jedi.
It was you.
What? Me? Oh, now I recognize where I've seen that face before. You were the little KotOR I was going to purchase. But those Jedi came and stole my pet away from me.
You bought Juhani?
When I was fighting with the Mandalorians against the KotOR, I developed an appreciation for these creatures. They make excellent servants if properly trained. You Jedi act all prim and proper, but inside you must feel the same way I do about the lesser, non-human species. The Sith at least let their feelings show on the outside.
You... the homeworld.
Come now. Will you let your pet go? I'm sure we can come up with a price we both think is fair.
Why are you so adamant that I'm going to sell her to you? I think you've got a couple of issues. Show me the money first, bloody hell. You'll only hurt her if I let her go.
No! I will not be sold! And I will see you dead for what you have done to my people!
Hold on a second. Don't be hasty.
Juhani, try and stick with the fact I'm actually trying to defend you here. I'm trying to put him off. Do not fall to the dark side again, Juhani.
I will remain calm. I am a Jedi now. My lust for vengeance must be curbed.
Yes. Say no to the dark side, but I will have you yet. Ha!
Okay, so that was Zor. A very interesting character who wanted to buy Juhani and is essentially a slaver. And for some reason, and I've never understood this, in the PC version, he's a Twi'lek. He's got a very unique skin. There's no other Twi'lek in the game that looks like him. And then in the Xbox version, he's just a regular human with the generic short black hair, NPC face, the one that's always associated with, you know, scumbag characters and characters that you are a bit slimy and you don't trust. And for some reason, you can download a mod which actually restores the PC version to having the human version of Zor, as opposed to the unique Twi'lek skin. I've never understood why anybody who's playing the PC version would go, let's get rid of this unique looking skin and replace it with a generic human skin. Now, presumably it's because they think, oh, only humans can be slavers in the Star Wars universe, and that, you know, another alien can't be a slaver to another alien. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I really don't care. I would rather have this Twi'lek with the unique skin, who also looks better and sounds creepier as opposed to the generic human. But what do I know? I'm just a simple guy who plays games. So we've triggered Juhani's personal side quest, and I've saved this for last for a variety of reasons. As I've explained in the past, I believe that the side quest is bugged. I know I've had lots of trouble triggering it in the past. Certainly the second half of the quest I've had trouble triggering them in the past, and it only ever seems to work on either Manan or Korriban. So what I'm going to do in the next part is I've got a couple of loose ends to tie up before we start with the Brotherhood of Shadow side quest, or the Brotherhood of Shadow mod. And what we're going to do is we're going to finish off Juhani's side quest next time, assuming it triggers. And we're also going to do the mysterious box, because that's on the Ebon Hawk right now. We're going to finish off the Geno Haradan side quests, and then we're going to hopefully do the Brotherhood of Shadow stuff in the part following that. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.